So we are driving in our car. We're on a road trip right now, and we thought we'd do another question and answer video for you guys. So we are on our way to Texas, and we're going to stop halfway and spend the night in our car at a free campsite in Lamar, Missouri. So that's our big adventure for tonight. See, we got our sleeping bags and stuff set up already in the back. So it's supposed to be a low of like 28 or 29 tonight, so we will see how we survive. Okay, so anything to add?
No.
First question is from David. Any kind of animals you should look out for while hiking the AT? Sunsets?
Well, I could take that question a couple different ways, but I'll answer it first with animals that you should be concerned about. Let's say that. First and foremost, ticks. Ticks can put you out of commission, give you Lyme disease, as well as 5 or 6 other different ailments. So ticks are something you should be concerned with. You should treat your clothes. Permethrin is popular. There's also some non-chemical ways. I'm not sure how effective they are. Permethrin is the chemical that's used for our troops' clothes, and it worked very well for us. Other animals, obviously, on our trip we came across a bunch of different rattlesnakes.
About 10 of them.
About 10 of them. We didn't see any copperheads. It's very unlikely that anybody's going to see a water moccasin, although the cottonmouth is in the very southernmost part of the trail. But the rattlesnakes like to lay right across the path, and so the first one we saw, Chica stepped right over it. So you do need to be careful with that. If you're listening to music, it might be wise to take one of the earbuds out of your ear so you can hear the sounds of what's going on, because the rattlesnakes mostly will warn you when you're too close to them. They don't want to bite you. Bears, I don't think they're a big concern, especially if you properly store your food. And then moose. Moose are the other things. Moose can actually be more dangerous than bear because they're pretty unpredictable. And we saw 4 bear, 2 moose, 10 rattlesnakes.
But 37 snakes total.
37 snakes total.
But the other ones weren't, they were non-venomous, like the rat snakes, the big long black snakes.
Yeah, those are cool.
And there was a hognose snake we saw.
Yep, and a couple milk snakes and a whole bunch of garter snakes.
Yeah. So we did see some cool owls. We heard them at night, and then we saw them one day. I think that's rare to see them during the day, but I actually got a video of it. I can't remember what day it was.
The barred owl.
There were 2 of them talking to each other, and it was really, really cool. It made our day to see them talking to each other, and then one flew off too, so it was really cool. But I think that's it for animals to look out for.
Yep.
Okay, our next question is from Kizzy. What has been the most exciting thing to return to civilization that you do daily? I didn't say that question exactly right, but returning to civilization has been great. For me, I want to say sleeping in a bed every night with a real pillow has been awesome. Taking a hot shower whenever I want is really great. I don't take one every day anymore. That's kind of been a difference post-trail. It's like I'll probably take one every other day because I'm just not dirty, unless I like work out or something. And it just makes sense to like try to conserve water and stuff. But I'm getting off track. What else? I like sitting on a couch just because like the whole time we're hiking, there's sometimes logs to sit on, but like you don't get to sit down like on a really nice comfortable couch or chair unless you're at a hostel or hotel. So that's been really nice to have every day. What about you?
A hot cooked meal that's not rice or potatoes.
Home cooked meals, yeah.
I agree with the hot shower. It's nice to have a hot shower and get clean.
Have it available to you.
Yeah, in a bed, you know. It was a challenge sleeping on the ground every night, even though we had an air mattress. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, Bernadette asked, what was the coldest night you had on the trail? We were talking about this earlier, and we think it was probably, the coldest nights happened a couple times, and they were probably like 31 or 32 degrees, slightly under freezing, right?
Yeah, and I only think it was maybe twice. Once
twice.
Early on in the trail, and then once in Maine.
Yeah, and it was cold. We stayed warm. I think we both wore our puffies that night, and we put our sleeping bags over our heads. We both have extra long enlightened equipment quilts, so we can put them over our head if we need to. And they like cinch in the back, and you can make them tight. But we wore like our hats and our hoods of our puffy too.
We slept with our Sawyer filters too.
Yes, filters and my phone. I put my phone in my bag. Because you can't, the filters, if they freeze, you never know that they're frozen, and they'll never work again, but you won't know that they're not working. So if it gets to freezing or slightly above freezing, sleep with the filter in your sleeping bag. Okay, next question is from Melissa. My first thoughts was that the freezer bag cooking was the best option to keep from washing dishes, but now I'm concerned with so much waste. Is it difficult to clean a pot and still leave no trace? Okay, first of all, let's talk about what we did and how it really did not create any extra or excess waste. What we did when we had our cook pot, we mainly ate the instant mashed potatoes and the Knorr pasta sides and Knorr rice sides, mainly the rice. And what we do was actually use the bag it came in, like the Knorr rice. We open the bag, leave the rice and the mix in it, pour the boiling water into the Knorr bag, seal it in a Ziploc bag, and then put it in this koozie we made out of a sun visor, and let it sit for however long. I can't remember how long we let it sit to cook. Like
long time, like
17 minutes. It took a while. It worked great, and there's no cleanup in your stove because you just heated up the cook pot because you just heated up the water in it only. The mess is in your Knorr rice bag, which you have the bag that you have to carry out anyway. So this way you still have a bag. It just has some food stuff in it, but you put it in your Ziploc garbage bag. It's the same thing, right? So it's no excess waste. So is it difficult, you asked, to clean a pot and still leave no trace? This is what you're supposed to do. If you cook in your pot, obviously eat every single morsel you can out of there, so it's almost clean already. And then put a little bit of water into the pot and scrape it with your spork or a scraper. And technically you're supposed to drink that then. To drink, it's just really nasty. But you're supposed to drink it with the food. It won't hurt you. Then you don't have to throw it away in the woods. But a lot of hikers we knew did walk away from the campsite and toss that little bit of water with the food particles into the woods. You're not supposed to do that because it could attract bears and whatnot, right? But it is just probably a little bit of food, so that's what our hiker friends did. And we, again, never did that because we cooked in our bags, and that took care of that problem. We really liked doing that. Okay.
In addition to the pasta sides and the Idahoan potato bags that you can cook in, obviously you can cook in the Mountain House ones as well. They're actually designed for that. And then there's another one, Backcountry. They're designed to be cooked in. The Knorr and the Idahoan bags, they're not perfect for cooking in, but we made it work.
They hold the boiled water fine, so
yeah,
it worked fine. They don't have a Ziploc top, but we put it inside a Ziploc bag, sealed it, and then put it in our koozie, so it worked good for us.
No fuss, no muss.
Nope. Katie has several questions. The first one is, did you plan all your miles zeros in advance, or did you do it daily or weekly? So when we first started, we had a couple people we were meeting. So the first 3 weeks I planned out as best as I could. And that worked okay. It was really hard though, because it is hard to plan and keep to a schedule. So after the first 3 weeks, we basically, it was kind of my job, and I like doing it. I basically planned for the next week or the next trail town. So we knew obviously how much food we needed to get. And then each night I would also plan, like each night I'd look at the guidebook, look at the next day, see what I had kind of estimated for that, and see if we were feeling up to it, what the terrain looked like. A lot of times we kind of had an out, like, oh, if we don't want to go that far, we could stop here. So we kind of played it by ear also, and a lot of stuff just changed, you know, if one of us weren't feeling well, or it didn't change too much. We pretty much stayed to our daily schedule.
But there was also built-in flexibility in the next town. I mean, if we took an extra half a day or a day, it wasn't that big of a deal, because we typically had enough food for an extra half day at least.
Or at least some snacks.
Yeah, just in case.
Yep. Okay, Katie's next question. When are your AT books coming out? Well, we have been avidly working on our first AT book, which we are writing together, and that has first had its set of challenges for us. It's the first book we've ever written together.
People say hiking the AT as a couple is tough. Try writing a book.
But we finally worked out a really good system for us, and we're doing really well. We're almost done with it. We just have a couple chapters left and the ending, but it's all outlined and filled. We just need to fill it in, basically. And we should be finishing that up the first week of March, but then it goes to our editor for edits. So hopefully it'll be out later this year, for sure before the end of the year. And then I would like to write a book geared towards women through hiking the AT. And Sunsets would like to write a book.
Yes.
About something. I don't know what.
It's opinion and wisdom gained and stories from the trail.
So much wisdom.
So much wisdom. It's seeping.
Okay. Next question. How long was it between your permanent return from Costa Rica to your through hike? About 6 months. We came home from Costa Rica and stayed with my mom
in October
of 2016, and hiked as much as we could, got the rest of our gear. We did winter hiking, hiked with our packs, we joined a gym, so we were just constantly training for our through hike and finishing up with our gear and getting ready. So it worked really well for us, except the winter always puts a dent in being outside and training, because it just got so cold.
I'm a winter weenie.
Our last question is about money. How did you handle your money and cash? Did you take it out at ATMs or have it sent to you in mail drops? We started with some cash, obviously, and we took a debit card and a credit card. We never used the credit card. We just had it for emergencies. The debit card we would use mainly at grocery stores, and then we'd take out cash at the end when we paid for our bill, because it was our debit card and you don't have an ATM fee. So that worked really well. We did that as much as we could. We always tried to keep like between $80 and $100 on us, because we never knew when we were going to need it for like a hostel or to tip a driver or a shuttle. So yeah, anything to add?
No.
Next question is from Stephanie. Any plans for the PCT? Sunsets, take it away.
No. Multi-month trails, I think, are pretty much done for us. You know, we might do. We've talked about maybe trying to do the Ice Age Trail here in Wisconsin, which is about 1,100 miles, which will take 2 months maybe. But our next adventure, and this answers another question coming up, what our next adventure is to do the 500 or so miles in Spain of the Camino de Santiago. the French way, the Camino Francis, which we'll do in the fall.
Right, so we're going to do that probably starting September 7th, to be exact. And it should take us about 35 days maybe. So we're really looking forward to that. And I think our friends Karen and Keith are going to do it with us too. So that's exciting. And yeah.
And we're going to have some fun beforehand too. I think we're going to stop over in Costa Rica for a week or so and see some friends. And then spend some time in Paris before we actually hit the
city
trail.
for lovers.
That's right. That's Virginia. Virginia's the state for lovers. We could just go to Virginia instead of Paris.
Is the country. Okay. Lastly, there's several questions about food and exercising, so I'm just going to try to lump them together here. How are your bodies now after a few months off the trail? All healed up? Have you gained much weight back? Our bodies right now feel great. We're totally back to normal. It did take us a while after the trail, and this is another question from Stacy about how we felt immediately after we were done from the trail. We felt fine, but like after about a week or so of being off the trail, our knees hurt immensely. Like it just hurt to walk up or down stairs. Every time we'd sit down and get up, it was mainly our knees and our feet. Our feet hurt too. That went on for over a month. It was crazy.
Yeah, constant hiker hobble.
Yeah. We looked like old people for a long time.
My feet hurt, my knees hurt, and my hips hurt.
Yeah.
For almost 2 months.
Yeah.
And then it kind of subsided.
So now we're feeling really good. Unfortunately, the winter has kind of put a damper on our exercising because it has been it's really nice today. It's like 37, but it's been so cold and
I'm hibernating.
Below zero, and we have not been able to get outside. So yeah, we're really looking forward to spring. We are actually going to be going up to Michigan to start a house sitting gig March 11th. And we're actually house sitting for a couple who's through hiking the Appalachian Trail this year, so we're really excited for them. But there's lots of trails up there. It'll be springtime. We're taking our packs that we're going to use on the Camino with us to exercise, and we're really looking forward to getting out there, getting back into shape, and eating better too. This was another question. So many questions. How are we eating after the trail? Well,
I'm eating the same way I ate before the trail, which is like crap.
Sunsets has a problem eating healthy. He just doesn't do it. I've been trying to eat salads for lunches, which has been working really good. I just have a big salad, sometimes with chicken breast, different things on it, and like grapes or fruit or something. And we've been having dinner with my mom. I've been cooking for all three of us, so it's kind of a little hard to get like on a really healthy regime right now, just because my mom will bring home a cake or we'll have ice cream, or it's just hard to totally stay away from bad food. So we're trying to do it in moderation. We have gained weight back. It's just impossible not to. We're not hiking 20 miles a day anymore.
We're not hiking 80 miles a day anymore.
And we're eating. So
yep.
Yeah, but we're looking forward to spring. We're gonna get back on track. It'll all be good. All right, last question from Renee. She's asking me if I thought I could have hiked the AT alone without sunsets. She's a little scared at the thought of doing this alone. Especially now after having done it with sunsets. Yeah, I could have totally hiked it alone. There's tons of women and girls out there hiking it alone. I totally think you can do it. I understand how it's frightening and scary to think about it, but the truth is you're going to meet people so fast. You're going to see people every day. You might bond with some people, form a tramily, they call it, a trail family, a loose trail family or a tight-knit trail family. It's just, you're not going to be alone. There's always going to be people out there, and all the hikers we met were so friendly, so giving. Anyone we saw, I'm not saying this right, anytime we saw someone having a problem or needing something, there was another hiker there giving it to them, or we gave it to them, or it's just, you just totally look out for each other. We didn't really encounter any slimy people. There were a couple of questionable people, just a couple, and they weren't harmful either. So
yeah, and
yeah, I mean,
you know, and you know, I think solo female hikers, other hikers tend to be protective of them, and you're going to get into a group, and it'll be fine. I mean, we had met so many friends who were solo hiking as a female of different ages, young ones, and some that were a little bit older.
It'll be the best experience, really.
And,
do it.
Yeah, and they were all having a great time.
Mm-hmm. Some of the women I knew, they would like a couple of women kind of teamed up together, but they would hike separately during the day, and then they'd just connect at night. Like they'd tent out together, be at a shelter together. So they still kind of had their freedom during the day, but they had peace of mind at night. They didn't want to be totally alone in the woods. So yeah, you can totally do it. So many people do it, and after you do it, you'll be so proud of yourself and so empowered that you did this by yourself. I mean, it'll just be the best experience. So totally recommend it, and I would have done it. I could do it by myself too, for sure. So I think that's it. Do we have anything else to add? Ooh, we'll probably take some videos tonight because we're gonna be sleeping in our Prius, and that's like a big adventure for us.
Yeah, so one of the video ideas that we've had, and we're not quite sure how we're going to present it, but we want to kind of share some of the things that we've learned about living more simply. Starting, you know, those that don't know our story, starting in 2013, we quit our jobs, sold damn near everything, moved to Costa Rica with 9 suitcases. So starting at that time, we've really tried to elevate experiences over owning stuff. So part of that is, you know, on this road trip, sleeping in our Prius as opposed to spending $70 at a hotel. We, you know, that living in Costa Rica helped us along this path because our lifestyle in Dallas was a little more posh. Certainly living on the trail on the AT over 6 months has helped us. But we're living a great lifestyle, and so we're thinking about doing some videos that kind of demonstrate and tell you kind of how we're doing it and why we're doing it. So that's why we're sleeping in our car. We haven't owned a car for 5 years. Right after the trail, we decided to buy a Prius, and right now we're getting on this road trip 44 miles per gallon, which is pretty cool. But anyway, that's all beside the point. I'm just getting long-winded now.
Yeah, so also we have all the gear. We need our sleeping bags and everything, and we have our air mattress blown up. So why not save a few bucks and do this? I mean, we just need to sleep. We don't, you know.
Some people don't get it. I was talking to my mom last night, and she's like, I can send you some money for a hotel. I'm like, Mom, it's not necessary. It's okay to sleep in our car. Mm-hmm. We have a safe place picked out, and you know, it'll save us you know, one hotel stay coming, one hotel stay coming back. So $150, $170. It's just not necessary because, you know.
And we're totally into saving money where we can. So that's the other idea. And I found this really cool website. I'll have to look it up what it is exactly, but it's free campsites all across the U.S. And it'll show you free ones and ones that cost like a few bucks. But it's great. That's how I found this place, and I hope it'll be there. It's like a city park, but it has some spots for RVs and some electrical hookups, but I think they're just for RV electricity or the big plugs. And we're hoping there is a restroom, but we're hoping that it's open because it is like the middle of winter. So yeah, it'll be an adventure. Ciao.
Ciao.
Hey guys, good morning. We have survived the night. We have our coffee from McDonald's. It was actually not bad sleeping conditions. It poured for a while, which we were happy we were in our car instead of a tent. There is a lot more room in our tent, actually. We cannot sit up at all. Greg could not stretch out his legs completely, even though we moved the front seats all the way forward. Yeah, so we survived, and we just got gas, and my hubby's coming back into the car now. We had a lot of condensation in the car this morning, which we just totally wiped down. Good morning, Greg.
Hello.
Sunsets. It's really cold this morning, so it did cool off. It started out very warm. We were like taking off all our clothes, but it was
fun.
It got pretty cold by, I don't know, 12 or 1. We did get some good sleep, so we're headed out this morning, and we have about 6 hours to drive. So first night camping in the Prius, success.